Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for being in attendance. To all the senators, thank you for being here in our usual scheduled time. We appreciate it. To all of our Zoomers, thank you for being there. To all of our guests, we appreciate you coming and being in attendance this evening. It's really great to see so many guests and see so many people from the government. So really nice to see you all. This is our final meeting, but of course, as usual, we have to go through our Senate procedure and protocol rundown before we get started to maintain our safety and COVID consciousness. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with that. So just a few reminders before we get started and gavel into order. Attendance online will be via just when you enter into the Zoom meeting. Please remember to rename yourself accordingly to the screen that is here for you. Please rename yourself accordingly. Also, for in-person, we will be doing roll call for attendance, so please just remember that. To be recognized in person, please stand and raise your name placard, just so we can make sure that we're getting everybody and that we're calling everyone correctly. The masks sometimes do create difficulties, but I like to think I have everyone's, but with masks and sometimes confuse me. But so thank you. And then to be recognized online, just remember that you need to raise your hand. That's how you'll be recognized. That's how you'll be recognized. I'm able to see that. I also have Matthew being able to see it. Lily's able to see it. We have people up here are going to be able to point me in the right direction and we can get you recognized. So please remember that. And also your motions must be typed. So if you're online, all motions must be typed. This is just to ensure efficiency in a swift meeting, especially one with so much business to get done. It could take a while. Remember that we have entrance doors to my right, your left. We have exit doors to my left, your right. Please use them accordingly. There's also a hand sanitizing station outside the entrance door if you leave. Please use that before you enter. That's just to help maintain safety. Also, remember, try not to congregate afterwards, just in an orderly fashion. Let's leave the MLC room, go about our business. That's once again, just to ensure safety with COVID-19. And then finally, be attentive. This is going to be a long meeting. I'm just gonna be frank with everyone. It's gonna be long, but we have worked on procedures to make sure that it's as efficient as possible. I hope everyone reviewed those. I'll be going over them once we get into our business. Before we start new business, I will be going over all those procedures that were outlined, that were sent out in the email, and that legislative cabinet voted on. So those are approved. That's what we will be using. So we do have an adjusted order for this evening. So just be aware of that. But with that, we're now going to get into our meeting. Once again, thank you for being here. I'm gonna get started. I will now call to order this final Senate session of the 33rd Senate. Secretary Myers, can you please call the roll?
Alejandro Collins. Bradley Howard.
Secretary Myers, do we have a quorum?
Quorum has been met.
Seeing as we have a quorum, we'll move into our business. First off, the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Seeing as we have a quorum, we're now in line for the approval of the agenda for tonight's meeting. The agenda was sent out last Friday. Secretary Myers will display it on the screen now as well. So quick note before we continue on, the legislation for this evening has been divided into uncontested and contested. So legislative cabinet, based off some of the contents of the bills and feedback from senators, cut them accordingly. So contested, we put anything that was a bill, so that would change any of the governing documents, automatically goes into the contested. And we'll get into what the procedures are going to be when we get to new business. But if we can scroll up to uncontested right there. Thank you, Macy. This is what we have for uncontested. Meaning there will be assumed no debate, and we'll get into that later. Does anyone have any issues with the pieces of legislation that are listed in uncontested as they are now? If there's any issues with even one of them by one person, we will move them into contested. I will now give you all, a couple seconds, 10 seconds to mull that over. And online as well, if you have anything, please raise your hand or, yeah, just raise your hand. It's more efficient. Okay. Seeing no objections, the agenda for tonight's meeting is approved. We're now in line for the approval of the minutes from the last meeting of the 33rd Senate. For the next minute, please read over the minutes shared on the screen, please. Are there any additions or corrections that need to be made at this time? Okay. Seeing no objections, the minutes are approved. We'll now move to hear from students who have come to speak during our open forum. If you're a student here wishing to speak to the Senate body and to the government, please raise your hand and we will recognize you. Seeing none, we'll claim back that time. Open forum is now officially ended. We're now in line for officer reports. And to ensure an efficient meeting, especially here in our hybrid system we have going on, we'll be limiting all updates that we are getting from tonight to 2 minutes or less. We're gonna be keeping a timer just because tonight's gonna be long and we're trying to make sure we respect everyone's time. So just be aware of that. So first off, the chair would like to recognize President Aslam Ahmed or whoever his proxy is.
I'm here.
Or is he online?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, the chair recognizes President Ahmed. My bad.
You're good. What's up, y'all? So I'll keep this short. I know you'll have a long night for you, but we are pretty much just transitioning. So I've been meeting with Carter and Carol Carson and I have been meeting with the whole 34th admin, and we're just transitioning and we're talking about the initiatives that we will want to be continuing between us, and as well initiatives that I'll be continuing on my own as the role of a student, and those are the push notifications, that initiative. We're teaming up with the ITS. We've been talking to y'all about that for the past few months, and essentially that update is coming out. We're just developing a communications criteria so that the future administrations know when and how to use push notifications. And then the wellness reps, which we're still working with student care and outreach in the health center with that. So me and Misha are working on that, but that is about it. Other than that, we're just transitioning, and we have some stuff coming to our through our comms before we're on the way out. But that's it. So I'll pass it back over to Sam.
Okay. Thank you, President Ahmed. And now the chair would like to recognize Vice President Kapong. Yeah, if you don't mind, please, so that we can make sure everyone online hears you. Vice President Kapong is here in person with us, so she's gonna be making her way down to the podium.
It's been a great year for you guys. We're really grateful for that. This is the transition meeting. I have a meeting tomorrow with Alton from the president's office to help push some stuff forward with the pathway program that helps athletes, Clark County students be able to have a place in VJ's classrooms. And then we have some exciting stuff on them for tonight, hopefully that you guys like. So that has to do with diversity, equity, and inclusivity. So I'm really excited about that. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Vice President Kapong. The chair would like to recognize Treasurer Cook, who is also here in person and is making his way down to the podium.
What is up, y'all? I'm Carson, for y'all who see me on Zoom this whole year. But first, I want to give a special shout out to Budget Oversight. We officially completed small clubs. The last small clubs of the year was this morning. We actually did not end up giving money out to the organization that came, so I have no update on that. But also shout out the team for spending 10 hours a day last week, every day on all campus, allocating over $1 million across campus. So that was super great. But yeah, so that is my update. Just want to thank y'all for a great year. Small clubs went super great, and all campus went super great, and it's just been a great year serving y'all. Thank you.
Thank you, Treasurer Cook. With that, we are in line for legislative officer reports. We're going to be not doing legislative cabinet reports just for efficiency's sake. But I'm going to go ahead and start with mine. So first off, thank you all for being here. It's really great to see everyone on Zoom and here in person. But I just want to thank you all for the year. It's been a challenging year. I think things happened that really were unprecedented and that we were really not expecting. We started this Senate and we started this SGA year in a format, in a way that's never been encountered by this university, that many other colleges have struggled with, and that none of us have ever seen in our lifetime or even in our parents' lifetime. But we had to evolve and make do. We had to adapt and find where SGA and where Senate was going to fit in during the time of online classes, online courses, and when students were really not on this campus that much and were not really actively engaged, not active and engaged. We went from holding in-person initiatives and from seeing students face to face, where we tried to bridge the gap and fill that information hole, so we can make sure we connected students with the proper resources that they needed. And that's really what I think SGA and the Senate had to transition to last semester. But with this new semester, we're able to embark on a new genesis and experience a new Senate with the hybrid system that we had, which I think was very effective. And we were able to accommodate people online when they needed to be accommodated. And we were able to have efficient, safe, and well-run meetings here in person. I want to thank you all for being a part of that and making it possible for all you here in person. It could not be done without y'all, because everyone here, everyone has a part to play, and everyone has had a part to play this entire year. And we've accomplished many great things. I'm not going to go through the whole list of stuff because Matthew has a long list that he wants to get through, and we have time limits, and I don't want to take all that time. But I do want to give big thank yous to many people. I first want to thank Sierra. Sierra's been I couldn't have done it without you this year. You've been by my side the entire time, our legislation czar, and I really appreciate all your hard work. And I want to thank Matthew here to my right. Matthew and Sierra both have been amazing counsel. Matthew, with his vast knowledge of Senate, has been integral to the success of this year, and I'm very thankful for it. And I appreciate all your professional help and you as a friend, so I really appreciate it. And then to all of our Senate staff, really the unsung heroes of Senate. Not to like, underestimate anything. Big thank you to Madison, our Director of Communications. Big thank you to Kelly, Director of Initiatives. Over here we have Macy, our secretary. Over here we have Lily, our parliamentarian, and then we have Sarah, our Director of Initiatives. They have played a massive, important part of the success of Senate. And Senate would not be what it is right now if it weren't for them. And if it weren't for Matthew overseeing all the processes. Like, thank you so much to all of you. And then to committee chairs, thank you for your counsel and thank you for your advice. You were also integral pieces in making sure that Senate was an effective governing body and that we were able to cope and adapt with COVID-19. I think those were our biggest challenges. And I'm very, very thankful for all of you, to all senators, to everyone here in Senate. It's been a great year. I think it's one that we're going to remember for the rest of our lives, to think that we went through a government through a pandemic. And the next Senate, I hope, and some of you are returning, you will take some of the playbook that we created and install it for next year and move forward and create an efficient Senate. So I just want to say thank you, and I really appreciate it. And I hope everyone has a great rest of their year. And if you're graduating, good luck, congratulations. And if you're staying behind here for another year or two, finish strong and hope you achieve everything that you need in life. So thank you. And the chair, finally, that was sweet, Patrick, thank you. The chair would like to recognize Senate President Pro Temp, Sierra Thomas.
Hi everyone, a little bit weird being up here for the last time. This is the first time I haven't needed meetings with me, but that's because we have 15 pieces of legislation and that has taken up most of my time this week. In terms of other updates, I've been helping with a couple of things with Educational Affairs Committee and Senator Powers being for legislation about grade grievance policies that will eventually go to the Educational Affairs Committee for University Council. And so I've been kind of helping with getting the gears moving on that side also. That is all I really have in terms of updates, but I think like Sam touched on, just really wanted to thank you all for a great year. I know it's been a really weird year. If you've been in Senate in the past, it's been very different from how things have normally run. But I think that we all have handled it with grace and we've handled it well. And I think we've been a pretty effective and efficient body this year, which was really the most important thing to me. I was here to represent the students, and I really appreciate the time and dedication that you all have put forward in doing that. And I am looking forward to seeing what the next administration accomplishes.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Thomas. And now finally, the chair would like to recognize Senate Chief of Staff, Matthew McDaniel.
Thank you, Senate President Ryan. So good evening. So as we finish up our updates, please bear with me. I'm going to go through some of the things that you all as well as staff has accomplished this year. So thank you to everyone that's attended in person, both safely with masks, as well as virtually online, making sure that you keep yourself, your family, and your friends safe throughout the year. So thank you for that. It's been a challenge for all of us, both personally. I know that we've all encountered those issues, but also in particular for our institution and our student body. The Senate has served an important role by stepping up to the plate when our executive leaders or other leaders in our university have failed to do so. And so I want to thank you all for doing that. The Senate has started by doing this early when the pandemic struck, starting when I served as president last year, and many of you served as senators at that time, working to provide digital resources on ELC through the DAE, as well as other services across campus, but also working with the administration consistently and decisively to implement changes across campus as COVID was rolling out. And so this summer, the Senate staff, in particular, Kelly, Madison, and Sarah, have worked diligently and spent hours developing, promoting, and analyzing a survey of 6,200 students regarding the university's response to COVID. We drafted a statement of expectations in which every senator signed on to and presented to the university regarding communications, class excuses, attendance leniency policies, cleaning, and so many things that were all done in full by the university as a result of that statement of expectations. as well as the survey. In addition, we worked with the Board of Regents to get the mask mandate that we have on right now, whether you like it or not. All 26 institutions across the state of Georgia have this as the result of the results that the survey that the Senate put out and the Senate staff worked on diligently. So much of our year has been focused on bridging the gap and going beyond the COVID resources, improving campus safety, as well as sustainability efforts throughout campus. And so this includes campus safety walkthrough and prioritization bill, COVID-19 policies and procedures for UGA and USG throughout the state of Georgia, adapting dining policies, working with Senator Henry out, coordinating a blood drive with Senator Chris June and having 65 senators or 65 individuals in the university community do that, working on Dress Down with the Dogs and having thousands of individuals participate for Extra Special People here in Athens, as well as coordinating with the University of Alabama, a town hall series of more than 15 departments across 5 different videos and days to promote resources when returning to campus, registering more than 2,400 individuals on the Wall Street Journal, hosting student organization listening tour in the fall, as well as launching the Senate PAGE program, in which we had 30 applicants and accepted 8 students for that. And so, as well as cataloging legislation for the past 3 years. And so we'll continue to work on initiatives and staff, as well as a variety of individuals of coordinating the university's Earth Week with the Office of Sustainability to have a huge safe Earth Day event. We're hosting Bill 9, so make sure that you register. And that's with university unions, working with them as well as the Office of Sustainability and the Office of Engagement, Leadership, and Service to put on that event safely at Myers Quad. So definitely sign up if you want some nostalgia with Bill 9, as well as working on addressing food insecurity here on campus and providing fresh fruits and vegetables to students in need. So please make sure you pay attention to those. But these are just some of the incredible projects that have done by our outstanding staff members. And so we put out more than 20 surveys and that's for more than 10,500 responses throughout the entire year. So please, when you see our staff, please thank them. They work tirelessly without recognition. So please thank them. And that is Madison, that is Kelly, that is Macy, that is Lily, and that is Sarah. So please give them a round of applause if you don't mind for just a moment. So thank you all. Thank you staff, particularly as well as Sarah and Sam for the opportunity, as well as other staff members. So best of luck if you're returning. If not, congratulations on your graduation, or where else you find yourself involved. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew. With that, we will now move into new business. So before we get started, we have some things to go over. Just first off, you've probably seen the agenda. I hope you've seen the agenda. It's a long one. So we're going to be as efficient as possible, and we've crafted new Senate procedures to try to ensure that we are efficient and we're using our time management properly. So if you look up at the screen here, and if you're zooming, you can see it there displayed. Legislative Cabinet discussed changes to the Senate procedure, modeling a little bit after last year with a little bit of change, with some changes. So what's going to happen is that we divided it into the uncontested and the contested, like I said earlier. Uncontested, there will be assumed no debate. I will still leave a little chance for there to be debate as we have to, but it will be assumed no, so we can move quickly. We'll also be doing votes of acclamation. Votes of acclamations mean that there will be no voice vote. Everyone will be assumed an aye, but I will open up for objections. If there is even one objection, we will have to move into a regular voice vote or a roll call. So just be aware of that. And there will be ample chances, and they'll be made very clear to everyone so we can move forward. Does anyone have any questions about uncontested so far? Online? Okay. We're going to move on to contested, and if anyone online has anything, I have Lily or Matthew here who will stop me. Uncontested, we will be having, there will be debate, and there's no assumed no debate, and we're going to assume that everyone wants to do a regular vote. So that's kind of like a regular Senate meeting like we've been having, but there will be time limits. So the time limits for uncontested will be 1 minute for presentations, 1 minute for questions. The time limits for contested will be 2 minute presentations, 2 minute questions, 5 minute debate. If you wish to extend time, you may do that. I ask that you specify the amount of time, and I will ask for you to specify the amount of time that you wish to extend it. You can only extend time while the clock is still hot. If the clock has ran out, it will be out of order and I will not entertain it. And I will be keeping hard time track here with the gavel. So if we ever get to 0, I will hit the gavel and you are expected to stop. If you do not stop, I will cut you off. That is not to be mean. It's not to be cruel. It's to be efficient, and it's to respect everyone's time here, because it will be a long evening and I want to make sure that I respect y'all's time and that we all respect each other's time. So just be aware of that. I have Macy here sitting with me. Sorry, Lily, my bad. I have Lily, I'm sorry. I have Lily here sitting with me. I'm so sorry, Lily. A lot going through my mind right now. I have Lily here sitting with me. She's going to be keeping track of time with me. She's going to be our time czar, and she's also going to have some time signals. So I'm going to let Lily take that away and explain to you all the timing.
Yeah, so I'll be keeping time, and to let you guys know how much time there is left in the author's presentation, the questions, and the debate. I'll be having hand time signals, and since the person who's speaking at the podium cannot see me, you will have to flash them back to me so that they can see it. So for the uncontested 1-minute presentations and 1-minute questions, I'll give you the time signals for 30 seconds, which is this fist. If you guys want to flash it back to me. 30 seconds, 15 seconds is like this, and then 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1, and then gavel. For the 2-minute presentations in the contested section and the 2-minute questions, I will give you 1 minute, 30 seconds, 15 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And during the 5-minute debate, I will give you 3 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds, 15 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And if there is an extension of time, I will also give you that. Just remember that this means 30, this means 15. And remember to flash them back, or else the person who is standing there will not be able to see it.
Thank you, Lily. Yeah. So just please flash those back. So when Lily puts up her hand and she flashes that signal, flash them back to us so the person up front can see them. Otherwise, it's going to be moot. Okay. So please do that for us and accommodate that and just help us move this along. Also, please be aware. So when the authors are coming down to speak, you should all know what your legislation is. If you're here in person, you're wishing to speak, you're an author, I ask that you go ahead and just come down to one of the like sides over here, like the wings, and just where I can see you, so that we can just keep moving everything very efficiently. So let's say the first bill, I don't know, let's say it's Bradley. Bradley comes up and speaks. The next person speaking is Sierra. Sierra will come over here and she will wait for Bradley to get done. And when we've done that, we are going to keep moving forward. Just like when we're getting close to the end of the debate, if the new author will come down and get ready. That will help move things along. So are there any questions regarding any of that? I know that's a lot. Any questions? Any questions online? No? Okay. Thank you all so much for sticking with us. With that, we're going to get this long Senate session started. So first up on our docket, we have resolution 33-12, a resolution regarding the requested addition of the Finley Street, bus stop to the East Campus bus route. If the author will please come forward.
Hi, everyone. I'm first-year Senator Joseph Roman, along with Hugh Shpora and Matthew Jew. We have come up with this bill to add a bus stop to Finley Street, area you guys are probably very familiar with, the Creswell. Currently, right now, most first-year students live in high-rises and do not have direct access to the bus loops to East Campus. With addition to this stop, we're being able to allow more students to access East Campus facilities. In our survey, we found that 87% of students use East Campus 3 to 4 times a week. The results show that 75% of students would be extremely likely to use this bus stop if it was added, and 77% of students would use East Campus facilities more if this bus stop was added. We are hoping that you guys will consider giving us some support for this bill, and thank you, Ms. Dan, for questions.
Thank you, Senator Fredman. Are there any questions for the senator? Are there any questions for the senator? Seeing none, questions are closed. Thank you, Senator Fredman. We're now doing a vote of acclamation. Are there any objections? Or excuse me, is there any debate? Seeing no objections, debate is closed. We're now voting by acclamation. Are there any objections? Online? Seeing none, resolution 33-12 passes. Congratulations. Next up on our docket, we have resolution 33-13, a resolution to implement a diversity, equity, and inclusion EverFi module as a prerequisite for incoming University of Georgia students. I ask that the authors please come down at this time. Also, if there are multiple authors, we're going to be limiting it to 2 max. So you're all good.
Hey everyone, my name is Jeremiah Sesto, along with Senator Will Harris, Vice President Cheryl Capone, Attorney General, not Attorney General, sorry, Chief of Staff Casey Smith, First Year Senator Peter Williams. We created a legislation through the implementation of a DEI module through EverFi. It's the same module company that we use for Alcohol EDU. And where our hopes is that in taking a step forward with all Student Government Association members next year in taking this, we can catalyze it for the entire school.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, go Bucks.
You all stand.
Are there any questions online? Okay. Seeing none, questions are closed. Thank you all. You may take a seat. Is there any debate to be had? Seeing none, we're moving out of debate. We're now in a vote of acclamation. Are there any objections? Online, any objections? Okay. Seeing none, resolution 33-13 passes. Next up on the docket, we have resolution 33-14, a resolution regarding a Zoom informational resource for students and faculty.
Yes, hi everyone, my name is Tina, I'm for Senator, and I along with Senator Roy Sanders and Senator Marks, we decided to create a legislation dealing with creating a one-pager or some kind of update to the information already on the EIDS website. Really the Zoom, just because we know that there are a lot of professors, a lot of student leaders, a lot of TAs who do not have any Zoom. So we decided to make this resolution just to show that there's an interest and definitely a need to make sure that we have at least accessible, really fast, really quick one-pager so that people who need to know how to use it can use it effectively and well for their needs and their meetings, anything of the sort. Thank you.
The senator stands for questions. Are there any questions? Seeing none, questions are closed. Thank you, Senator Neon. Let me take a seat. Is there any debate to be had? Seeing none, debate is closed. We now move to a vote of acclamation. Are there any objections? Seeing none, resolution 33-14 passes. Next up on the docket, resolution 33-16, a resolution to fund the Wall Street Journal and the Collegiate Readership Program.
So y'all, we were putting up the Wall Street Journal again, so this is something that Senate staff has worked on diligently throughout the year. We have nearly 11,000 individuals registered and active on that. That means that they use an average of 23 minutes a week on an access to a minimum of 3 to 5 articles a week on the actual app. And so we're a web version. And so this year we registered 2,400 individuals, a total of 11,000. And so that's up from my freshman year when we first brought this restriction to initially 5,000 activated users. And so this is absolutely incredible. We'll continue to work with the university libraries and provosts to continue to fund this initiative and provide this to students for absolutely free to faculty, staff, and students. So with that, I stand for questions.
Are there any questions for the author? Seeing none, thank you. Any debate to be had? Seeing none, we'll move right along. Now on a vote of acclamation, are there any objections? Seeing none, resolution 33-16 passes. Next, proclamation 33-11, a proclamation regarding discrimination towards Asian communities.
Good evening, everyone. So this resolution is a call to action and result of not only the hate crime that happened in Atlanta, Georgia a few weeks ago, but also to the rise of Asian hate crimes throughout our country, over 170% increase since the COVID-19 pandemic. And as student government leaders and as the voice of every Bulldog, it is important to stand in solidarity with and be a course of action for educating ourselves about resources and others about what we can do. And this is also a call to action for administration to look into Asian hate crimes within residence halls and all over campus. So I stand for questions.
The senator stands for questions. Are there any questions? Seeing none, we'll end questions. Thank you, Senator. Is there any debate to be had? Okay. The chair recognizes Senator Thomas.
I just looked what you can do for the resolution, but I think there is a certain confusion that individuals, and I can assure you that's not the case. What happened in Atlanta last week is not the first incident, and will not be the last incident of discrimination against Asian American communities. There's a woman beaten brutally in New York yesterday morning. There was a Sri Lankan man beaten on the subway in the city a couple of weeks ago. And a lot of these things don't make the news. And I think what's more deafening than the lack of condemnation is silence. And so I think it's really important that we as student leaders take the time to address discrimination against Asian American communities and make sure that we are standing with all of our students. So through just like you can hear.
Thank you, Senator. Any other debate? Seeing none, debate is closed. We'll now move to a vote of acclamation. Are there any objections? With that, proclamation 33-11 passes. Next up, we have proclamation 33-12, a proclamation enhancing the relationship between the Athens-Clarke County government and the University of Georgia Student Government Association.
Hey, what's up, guys? Me and Jeremiah, Senator Lawrence worked on this. We ended up meeting with Mayor Kelly Gertz, and we just talked about some of the things that we would like to see SGA partner with the community on. Like, we talked about some of those things in the proclamation, but maybe having like a set meeting at the start of every student government year, and then also maybe have like some sort of service project. The SGA did. We know there's been stuff done in the past. We just thought this proclamation would be nice to codify some of those things.
Yeah, the only thing I want to add is, in making sure that we are representative of the student body, we want to be a liaison to the student government and the Athens government as well, making sure that our voices are heard in that level. So I'd like to thank Senator George Moore for doing this.
We stand for questions.
Are there any questions from the authors? Okay, seeing none, questions are ended. Thank you. We'll now move to a vote of acclamation. Are there any objections? Okay. Seeing none, proclamation 33-12 passes. Next up, we have proclamation 3313, a proclamation regarding support for Georgia assessments for the certification of educators, or GACE, funding for Mary Frances Early College of Education, teacher preparatory students. That's a mouthful.
Hey y'all, thank you for letting me be up here today. It's kind of fun to play the other side of the ball for once. I am just here in support of my fellow ambassadors from the American Francis Early College of Education who've been working very hard to secure this funding. They have sent a proposal into the dean. I want to yield the rest of my time to my co-author Allison, who was the original author of the proposition.
Hey guys, these are just like mandatory testing certification fees that all teachers have to take when we graduate, and they cost like $200 and people save up for months to take them. So we would just like the dean to help us pay for them a little bit better. And this has been sent on to her too. But yeah, that's it.
Are there any questions for the authors? Seeing none, questions are closed. Thank you all. We're now moved to a vote of acclamation. Are there any objections? Seeing none, proclamation 33-13 passes. That concludes our uncontested legislation. So that was fast. That's pretty efficient. We'll see how this next round goes. With that, just remember the rules. It's 2-minute presentation. It's 2-minute question time, 5-minute debate. So when I open it up for debate, we'll have a hard limit of 5 minutes. If you wish to have time extensions, please make them. Please just stand and have a motion per usual online. Just type it in and you will be recognized. If the clocks run out, they will not be entertained and they will be considered out of order. If there is no debate, like usual, I will just take back that time. Okay. So first up, we have proclamation 33-14, a proclamation to support the SGA G-Day student experience.
Yes, hi. Thank you all so much for having me tonight. I just want to go through this proclamation really quick into discussing kind of the experience behind it. I will note that we have an amended proclamation that is going to be brought in directly after I finish my presentation of this. It is primarily, these amendments are primarily associated with the enhancement and insurance of social distancing guidelines being promoted throughout an event. And this original proclamation here is to support an SGA G-Day student experience. However, the amended proclamation is going to be discussing a drive-in movie event that the incoming administration for the executive side of things is going to be promoting. The main differences of the two proclamations is going to be that one of them is based on and has a date for G-Day. However, that would be on April 17th. However, the amended proclamation is going to host an event on April 29th, which is a Thursday evening. And the other main difference is that the finances are going to be, instead of $15,675.84 on the current proclamation, the amended proclamation is going to have $7,820 as the total finances. Once again, the entire purpose of this amended proclamation that is going to be presented in just a minute is to ensure that all COVID guidelines are in effect. And we have been speaking with administrators on this extensively to make sure that everything is passed and approved. And we are really excited to work with Senate in the future and look forward to hearing more. I stand for questions.
Are there any questions for the author? Any questions online? Just raise your hand. Okay. Seeing no questions, I will take back that time. We'll now move into debate on proclamation 33-14. Is there any debate to be had? Okay, the chair recognizes Senator Dyer. You come up to the podium, please.
Okay, so this is the amendment that Joseph was just talking about, and I think he did a pretty good job explaining everything. So after meeting with a bunch of people and getting into the nitty-gritty of the expenses and stuff like that, or Joseph, I should say, because Joseph did this, so it's been changed to the drive-in movie, and the date is different, so that's it. That's all the yellow highlight is changed to. So if you want to take a second to read it and see what's crossed out, and then at the bottom, in the appendices, there's like screenshots of outline receipts and stuff like that, just to show like how much it is going to cost. And then under that, we worked really closely with Connor to make sure that all these prices and stuff are like good to go. So
If you all have any questions.
Is there a second on the amendment? Okay, there's been a motion and a second to amend. With the link to this, we're gonna allow like a 1 minute quick reading of it. So we're gonna go through the amended version now. And we're just gonna scroll so everyone can make sure that they see it. Highlighted is, of course, the new amended version. Strikeouts will not be on the final copy. Okay. With the reading, we're gonna keep kind of scrolling through so everyone can see it, but we're gonna move into debate on the amendment. So thank you, Senator Dyer. You can take a seat. Yeah, thank you. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor or against the amendment? We're talking about the amendment, so the amended version here, not the original. Okay. Seeing no debate, I will take back that time. We now move to vote on the amendment. So the amended version. All those in favor of the amended version, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? We're good. Okay. The proclamation will now be amended. So now we are back into debate on the amended version. So this is just the procedure that we have. We're going back to the full document. It's now amended as we just did. Is there anyone wishing to debate the newly amended Proclamation 33-14? Seeing none, I will take back that time. Do I hear a motion to call the question? Okay. Is there a second? There's been a motion, a second. Seeing no objections, the question will be called. All those in favor of Proclamation 33-14, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? With that, Proclamation 33-14 passes. Okay. Next up, we have Resolution 33-15, a resolution regarding the creation of a university-wide grade forgiveness policy.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, so this is a resolution, so as it says, advocating for the creation of a university-wide grade forgiveness policy. So our definition of grade forgiveness, as it says in, as Penn State defines it, is a process to retroactively omit the grade from the GPA calculation. And so what this is an advocation of a blanket policy, just saying, hey, we should have one of these, and expressing support for it to get the administration to enact one. And so what this legislation goes through is the Office of Institutional Research lists a bunch of schools that they deem to be peer aspirational or peer comparator, meaning we either aspire to be like them or we think that we are like them already. Well, 6 out of the 9 peer aspirational schools have a grade forgiveness policy in place, as well as a host of the comparator ones, as well as the University System of Georgia, universities of Georgia like Georgia Tech, Georgia State, Georgia Southern, and Auburn. And if Auburn has it, we should have it because we're better than Auburn. So yeah, with that, with our remaining time, I like to thank the Education Affairs Committee. It's taken us a long time, a lot of research on this. So I'd like to thank Matthew for helping get with a lot of the information with the early stuff, and Sierra for, as she said earlier, getting the gears rolling with this. And with that, I stand for question.
Are there any questions for the author? The chair recognizes Senator Jew. Yeah. Senator Howard, if you just step over so that he can ask his question. And then Senator Zhu, once you've asked your question, just take your seat again.
Yeah, I was just wondering if y'all had a specific grade policy that you wanted to implement. I noticed that each school kind of has a different one, whether it's just for core classes or whether it's a certain amount of hours capped. I didn't know, if y'all had.
So that is a great question. The point of this legislation isn't to label out a specific grade forgiveness policy. That would be in the next steps. If this passes today, I'm going to get in contact with the Graduate Student Association, and we're over the summer going to work on a proposition, something to send to University Council in the fall. So no, we do not have anything in mind yet. We're really going to see, what we can do, how far we can take the university on it.
Sorry, I'm muted. Seeing no debate, is there any debate online before we continue? Thank you, Madison. I get what you're saying now. Okay. Seeing none, I will take back that time. Is there a motion to call the question? Is there a second? There's been a motion and a second. The question will be called. Matter before us, Resolution 33-15. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? With that, Resolution 33-15 passes. Okay. Next, we have Bill 33-08, a bill to promote transparency and accountability with stipends.
Jot down my remarks for efficiency's sake. Without daily election cycles, students are shocked to find out that our executive officers are actually compensated for the work throughout the year. Stipends are an issue of equity, in my opinion, because students are often forced to forgo part-time income to occupy their offices, and it's important that we make them as accessible as possible. Now, to better understand stipend, we disconnect the traditional concept of performance equates to compensation, because if that was the case this year, not many folks would get paid. But what the bill does aim to do is to promote transparency and accountability through this type of process, which is largely maximum security. It not only codifies the compensation of the executive officers, but also advocates for Senate leadership to be paid. If tonight's Senate session is any indicator, the Senate has outperformed other branches this year, yet is consistently undervalued in the eyes of administration and students. Giving our leadership compensation is an important first step to level the playing field. Traditionally, executive officers may request either an increase in the gross amount allocated to stipends or redistribution of the stipends as they exist now. The last time this was signed off by Vice President of Student Affairs in 2016, which relegates $4,500 to be dispersed by the SG president as he or she sees fit. Most years, this results in unequal and nonsensical distribution of funds. This year is no different. This bill sends a signal to administration the next time stipends are being reconsidered, Senate leadership should get paid. I stand for questions.
Are there any questions? Any questions online? Okay. Seeing none, I'll take back that time. Thank you, Senator Femia. Is there any debate to be had? We good? Is there any debate? The clock's ticking. The chair recognizes Senator Howard. Yes, please.
I think we consider friends. Yeah, so friendly amendment, to take, the presidential salary or stipend from 6,500 to 6,000.
Does the author accept the friendly amendment?
Yes.
Okay, the author accepts the friendly amendment. It will be updated. Is there any other debate to be had? Online? Okay. Seeing none, I will take back that time. Debate is closed. Do I hear a motion to call the question? Do I hear a second? There's been a motion, a second to call the question. The question will be called. Matter before us is Bill 33-08. All those in favor, please say aye. All opposed? And with that, the ayes have it. Bill 33-08 is passed. Next up, we have Bill 33-09, a bill to correct duplicative and unnecessary provisions within the statutes.
Okay, so this bill aims to remove unnecessary and duplicative provisions within the statutes after years of writing and interpreting rules in SGA accounts and areas, which make the document easier to interpret and understand without changing the core meaning of how we exist as a body. I'm trying to do this as fast as possible within time limit. Section 100.3 is overly broad. By removing the original section, replacing with subsection A, it ensures the AG's authority is limited to maintenance of statutes, as is a precedent over the last few years. Section 100.4 repeats an identical phrase twice, making it difficult to interpret. Section 200.2 subsection A includes an overly broad phrase and adds nothing of substance to the section. Section 202.2 is entirely repeated within the same chapter within section 202.1. Section 204.2 left the process of appointing legislative cabinet. Vague, it simply stated the Senate President and President Pro Tem forward interview interested applicants. This amendment adds to that by requiring a nomination letter from the Senate President no later than the first Senate of the fall semester. Keeping in mind we have Senate in the spring as well. Section 207.7 subsection A incorrectly states the author may amend their bill at will during the legislative process, as you just witnessed. According to Robert's rules, once a proposal is submitted, the author loses the ability to amend outside of the amendment process. Section 208 subsection A requires an annual approval of the rules by the Senate. In all our documents, we move to strike all sunset clauses, meaning rules do not require annual adoption. Section 208.3 changes the phrase of advisement to consultation, which is more aligned with other government documents. Section 208.9 subsection A is similar to 207.7 that it modifies the rules behind the rules of order, which just allows an author from any of the bill after the process. Section 208.10 seeks to clarify the timeline of the Senate session, which calls for the immediate consideration of the amendment upon their offering. My hope is with these changes to make our documents easier to interpret and more in line with the precedent and rules that govern us. I stand for questions.
Wow, that's fast, Senator Femia. Lightning over there. Okay. The senator stands for questions. I assume he'll answer those really quickly too. Oh, that's true. He's pretty verbose. Are there any questions? Okay, seeing none, questions are closed. I'm going to take back that time. Thank you, Senator Femia, for really holding on to that efficiency. Okay. Is there any debate to be had? Online? Okay. Seeing none, I will take back that time as well. Do I hear a motion to call the question? Do I hear a second? Okay, with a motion and a second to call the question will be called. The matter before us is Bill 33-09. All those in favor, please say aye. All opposed? Okay. The ayes have it. Bill 33-09 is passed. Next, we have Bill 33-10, a bill to codify the Senate PAGE program. Yeah. I'm going to have Matthew present for simplicity's sake. So,
Hey everyone, as you know, we have 8 new pages this semester that we brought on. So this is a new program to provide opportunities to students that may have not been involved in SGA before, are interested in learning about it, and have the opportunity to see the legislative branch from an inside perspective. So they have assisted on projects this year, including the Wall Street Journal, Blood Drive, the Earth Fair, as well, or the farmers markets, as well as Earth Day functions that are coming up in April. So we had nearly 20 to 30 applicants this year, so and allowed 8. So it's an incredible program. We just want to make sure that it's codified to ensure that future bodies and terms ensure that they are appointed and applied for to provide students an additional opportunity here within the legislative branch. Because I think a lot of times we get told that we're closed off, we provide opportunities. This is another incredible opportunity for those patients that are here tonight. Thank you for your incredible work, but they definitely deserve a place in our government, and so that this codifies that. So with that, I stand for questions.
Are there any questions for the speaker? Seeing none, I'll take back that time. Is there any debate to be had? Seeing none, I'll also take back that time. Do I hear a motion to call the question? Do I hear a second? There's been a motion, a second to call the question. The question will be called. The matter before us is the passage of Bill 33-10. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? It passes. Next up, we have Bill 33-11, a bill to further codify Senate procedure. I'm going to yield the chair to Senate President Pro Tem Thomas. Oh, yeah. Okay, good evening, everyone. I have a bill here for you. So we dive into the documents that you see. We have lots of bills going on tonight. But I wanted to look at some things that we codify some of the procedure and like the traditions we've already been keeping, as well as like look where we can amend some of our own like Senate procedure and how we conduct ourselves. So first off, we have here nomination letters. Formal nomination letters have been something that we've been doing for like the past couple of years, and it's not been something that's been codified. It's been kind of tradition. But for transparency and to make sure all the student body knows that what we're doing, and to make sure that the other branches of our government know what each branch is doing, we want to codify nomination letters so that it's transparent and we're more interdependent and we know what is happening with the other branches. Another thing is that with the Committee on Budget and Oversight, we wanted to establish essentially a hearing process. So every single nominee that goes through, if they are specified in the governing documents, we'll go through this no matter what branch they're in. I want to do this because I think it'd be good to increase the interdependency between the branches, because instead of us just getting nominees, we have no idea who they are, we're able to meet them and talk. This committee cannot deny any applicant or any person that goes through it. Everyone gets to go to the floor of the Senate. This will allow us to get to know them in a more personal setting and increase the connection and independence of the government, as well as increase transparency. Do you have anything, Patrick? With that, we stand for questions.
Seeing none, I will reclaim that time and we will move into debate. Is there any debate on this piece? Seeing none, we will now move into voting. Is there a motion to call the question? Is there a second? All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, nay.
Aye.
Okay. We will now move into voting on Bill 3311. Unless there are objections, we will vote by a voice vote. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, nay.
Aye.
Okay, and with that, the motion or the legislation passes. Bill 3311 is approved. I will yield the floor back.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Thomas. Wow, we're moving right along, y'all. I'm very impressed. I appreciate all your love for efficiency as well. Okay, because we're at the final thing of our new business. I'm a little shocked. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if you can see online here, but we had bets going on how long it would take. Everyone's really awful. That's fine. Okay, I'm really proud. I'm so proud. Wow. Who's the closest? Well, we haven't finished yet. That's true, but we'll get better. Good of the order. Ask me again. Okay, I'm so sorry to derail this. I'm gonna move right along to Bill. Oh, we have two more. I'm sorry. Bill 33-12, a bill to codify communication procedures of the Student Government Association. We'll go over the bets.
So what we're working here for is to codify the communications procedures for the Student Government Association, just as the title says. And so what happened last year is we added a center staff and has a communications director. What we want to make sure is that that individual is empowered to communicate the projects of the senators. And so over the years, I served as pro temp last year and as chief of staff this year. We've struggled for that. I'm not gonna lie. It's hard to be able to communicate that out when you have a new executive branch come in and making sure that those lines are established. This establishes the bare minimums. As you can see in 504.5, this is what is already outlaid in the statutes. And so it's communicating public meetings, surveys, and things that are already outlined previously in the statutes. What it works to provide and make sure that it is established is a memorandum of understanding, MOU, that was signed this year by the executive officers as well as Senate leadership to implement communication policies with respect to social media, emails, so on and so forth. And so all this to make sure is that this is happening each semester. Each year, each term, by the first Senate of the fall semester, make sure that it's established. So there are no hiccups, no speed bumps in getting the Senate on order and promoting projects, as well as the work that you all are doing, and then those that will hold your position in the next term. So with that, I stand for questions.
Are there any questions? Seeing none, I'm going to take back that time. Is there any debate to be had? Seeing none, I will also take back that time. Is there a motion to call the question? Do I hear a second? There's been a motion and a second to call the question. The question will be called. The matter before us is Bill 33-12. All those in favor, please say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Bill 33-12 is passed. And now finally, Bill 33-13, a bill to codify the professional clothing closet.
Last time you listened, I promise. So with that, the professional clothing closet was established in 2019 through resolution 31-11. I worked alongside numerous other senators that started this project before me, as well as with senators serving at the time. And so this is established in coordination with the Student Government Association currently right now. The individual who serves as the executive director is being appointed through an application process provided by the Senate President. But what this seeks to provide is somewhat of autonomy that has been provided, but making sure that it's codified. I am graduating in May, so just to make sure that this is here. We very much run a very much startup culture, changing day to day to make sure that this is codified and in the record, that we're providing this resource to students. And so just this past week, we served our 490th student, and that is in less than a year and a half. And so some incredible work that they're doing. There's a staff of 16 that do incredible work in the clothing closet to make sure that the students are served and going above and beyond to be really truly serve them and provide them free professional clothing and put on public thrift stops. So with this, that codifies this, provides a procedure for that to make sure that it's publicized to the student body, and requires the reporting semesterly of the students served and resources allocated. So with that, I will stand for questions.
Are there any questions? Seeing none, I will take back that time. Thank you. Is there any debate to be had? Seeing none, I will take back that time. Do I hear a motion to call the question? Do I hear a second? There's been a motion, a second to call the question. The question will be called. The matter before us is the passage of Bill 33-13. All those in favor, please say aye. All opposed? And with that, the ayes have it. Bill 33-13 is passed. That concludes our new business for the evening. So congrats. Give yourself a pat on the back. So we're now in the good of the order. Good of the order refers to the portion of the agenda or the meeting during which members of the body can make statements or offer any observation that they may have about the character or the work of the organization or anything in particular. Is anyone wishing to speak on the good of the order? The chair recognizes Senator Femia, and I have you, Senator Chaparro.
I'm so sorry, so to access the time, an old person for just 1 second. So for those of you who don't know, the Senate hasn't always been set up in the way that it is right now. The concept of a Senate president at UGA is just 2 years old. Sam is the second Senate president. 2 years ago, many of us in this chamber saw the Senate not living to its full potential. We saw it tied down by deeply entrenched rules and processes that held it back from truly serving students in a more effective and efficient manner. We spoke to SGAs throughout the Southeast and saw places where we were lagging behind, one of which was an independent Senate, given the tools and resources to pursue its own initiatives. Now, not everyone agreed on the correct path forward, but here's what's happened since then. Legislative activity has really tripled the year immediately preceding the system. We've seen food fines, which forgave parking tickets, collected thousands of cans from the food pantry, the freshman clothing closet, which I know you all heard just a little bit about, has managed to serve hundreds of students and fill a real need here on campus, and we witnessed the most competitive Senate elections in years, and so much more. Now, you think you've seen some contentious sessions. When the amendment was being debated for several sessions in a row, we spoke for hours, had scores of former SGA officials come to speak in favor and against, all in the run to the spring elections. We managed to capture 72% of the Senate and subsequently 73% of the student body. Within all of that is an important lesson that I wanted to share before I do my final send-off. Change is uncomfortable, yet necessary. As we move to gather out many of our final Senate sessions, thank you people who made the system what it is. So Sam, Matthew, Sierra, legislative cabinet, Senate staff, and all of you in this room for taking part in this experiment. To those coming back next year, my ask is this: continue to show UGA the true potential of the Senate. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Femia. And now the chair recognizes Senator Chaparro.
Hello, you all. I'm going to keep this brief. I'm speaking on behalf of all of FYS. I want to say that we appreciate what you guys do. You guys are some of the greatest mentors and friends. And I want to give a special shout out to Hannah Kane. She really adopted as strangers that were coming out of the state. So really appreciate you. Yeah, go Dogs.
Thank you, Senator Chaparro. The chair would like to recognize Senator Will Harris. And I got you, George, next. Or
okay, come on. All right, so yeah, I remember immediately after inauguration for the 33rd, I tweeted out 33rd like it's heard. And I didn't know that this year was going to be so kooky. So foresight there for me. But despite everything, it's been a really good year. And I just want to say I'm proud of everybody in this room, especially the Committee on Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. We were the best committee. We were also the swaggiest committee. We also had the most trip. We're also the cutest committee. But also, just in general, this was a great Senate. You'll be able to look back and tell your kids, like, you know, when I was at UGA, I was in the Senate during the pandemic. You know, we did the thing. You know, make sure you tell them how handsome I was too, because that's important. But in all seriousness, this has been a great year, and I'm proud to have served alongside everybody in this room. Proud to have made new friends, and I'm proud to have had a chance to be a committee head. I send so much thanks to the legislative cabinet and Sam, Sierra, and Matthew, and just everybody who I've been here, and even Patrick, as being an SGA overhead. I remember when I was a freshman, watching him pass legislation, I was like, who is this guy? But it's been such a long ride, and I'm happy to have been here. It's been such a great time, and I love and respect all of you, so thank you.
Thank you, Senator Harris. That was very heartfelt. Next up, we have Senator George Moore.
Yeah, I just want to say that we're getting scooped ice cream back in the dining halls, and we did not have it for a very long time. Thank you for the applause. Largely thanks to Matthew McDaniel and his connections with dining. And so I just want to make that announcement, and I'm really excited about like actually making people happy.
Just some of the change the SGA can do. Bring an ice cream to a Bolton near you. It's pretty good, huh? Thank you. I like a rhyme. Okay. Is there anyone else wishing to speak for good of the order? The chair recognizes Senator Lindsay Smith.
I just have a question for Senator. Have you ever considered doing options as a side hustle?
I appreciate it. I generally stutter too much, but you know, if I can get over that, sure. I like it.
Senator Femi was asked if he'd ever considered a life as an auctioneer. He said no. He doesn't want to, but yeah, he does speak quite fast, and you all saw it here. So if we had awards, fastest speaker. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak for good of the order? The chair recognizes Senator Thomas.
Hi, everyone. So my daughter has like cigars and
We'll get to that.
Your past legislation, so thank you all for bearing with us. Thank you all for taking this time to sit here and be actively engaged tonight. And thank you again for a phenomenal year. Can I get one final round of applause for our committee chairs and our Senate staff? They have been, again, huge this year. So you have not touched them. It takes 5 seconds to do that. And as a final word, I guess thank you to all of you for being here tonight and every other Tuesday for the last, God knows how many months. I cannot thank you enough for making this a phenomenal last term. And I cannot wait to see what you all go on to accomplish.
Thank you, Sierra. Is there anyone else wishing to speak during good of the order? The chair recognizes Senator Baxter.
Hi, everybody. I just want to say everything that Will said about his committee is not true. It is true about my committee, because I do have the best committee. And I love all of you so much, and I've enjoyed all the time that I got to spend with you guys. And I just really want to say thank you to Sam and Sierra. They do so much. They work so hard, and like every Sunday, I have like committee chairs and see like how hard they work. So I just want to say thank you to them, and happy birthday, Marilyn Dyer, in my committee. And just overall, this year's been a hard yard, and Will Harris is wearing Sam says it better. Anyway, thank you all. Have a great day.
Thank you, Senator Baxter. I really appreciate that. That's very sweet. I did learn a new word with Senator Harris, one of our cabinet meetings. So now it's been added to my vernacular. Is there anyone else wishing to speak for good of the order? The chair recognizes Senator Howard.
Hello, everyone. If you've listened to me the last few weeks, you know public speaking is not my strong suit. So, but my bet was exactly 11 p.m. So I will be speaking for the next 2 hours. 32 minutes.
Filibuster.
I get rid of it. Oh, I am Sam. I don't know. Okay. No, I'm real. This has been a year. I'm going to repeat a lot of what I said on Sunday because my connection breaks out for all of it, and Sierra and Sam just play nice and pretending they heard me. But, I like to, thank all my fellow senators, my chair, or not my chair, my committee, who I digress from Ella and from Will. Educational affairs was the best. Staff, Matthew, Sam, Sierra, it's been a hard year. It's been a unprecedented year, but it's been an amazing year, and I want to thank you all for allowing me to be a part of it and for making it fun.
Thank you, Senator Howard. Next up, the chair recognizes Senator Minna Abdelwahab.
Hey guys, just in tradition of having all the committee chairs say a quick word, I want to give a special shout out to the Campus Services Committee for all their work, as well as Sam and Sierra and staff for everything that they've done this semester. A lot of their work kind of happens behind the scenes, so people don't necessarily get to see it, but it's definitely a lot, and they've definitely really committed this entire academic year to Senate, which is absolutely amazing. Shout out to everybody else who's been making it through the semester. I wish everyone the best of luck on finals and finishing off this semester strong. Hope you guys all have a relaxed summer because we all definitely need it. So yeah, thank you guys so much, and thank you to all of the senators I've been able to work with this past year.
Thank you, Minna. Is there anyone else wishing to speak for good of the order? The chair recognizes Senator Jeremiah DeSisto. Excuse me.
As quick as I know everyone wants to get up. I just wanted to echo Will's words. This is probably going to be the last time I'm going to see Patrick or Matthew or Sam speak up here. But when I was a freshman, I looked up to these folks. Same with Sierra. And so I just wanted to thank them for their years in student government and all the change that they've enacted. So.
Thank you, Senator DeSisto. Is there anyone else wishing to speak for good of the order? Okay. The chair recognizes Senator Henriot.
It's gonna be very brief, I'm gonna go home. But like everyone has said, I think everyone's spent an incredible amount of time and commitment this year. I did want to just give one shout out to someone who has kind of been an unsung hero this year, and that's just President Pro Tem Thomas. I feel like she was the person that you could always call at no matter the time of day and have the answer was going to get you the answer and put you in the right contact with people. And so I just really want to applaud her commitment to this year, along with all the rest of the staff and Sam and Matthew as well.
Thank you, Senator Henriot. Is there anyone else wishing to speak for good of the order? Seeing none, I will take final privilege as chair the last time to speak. But say a big thank you to all of you. This year has been crazy. It's been unprecedented, and it's been a challenge. And I think it's something that we'll be able to carry with us for the rest of our lives. It's something like just no one's ever faced before. But we had to adapt and we evolved. And I really appreciate all of your hard work. And I'm just so thankful for the Senate that we had this year. It's made a great end to my time here at UGA, the institution that's given so much to me and given so much to all of us. And I'm really glad to be in a room full of people who want to give back to that university, and it really warms my heart. And I just want to give some final thank yous. Thank you so much to Hannah Payne. She worked up there with FYS. Hannah's a fellow Roman from my hometown, and she's great. But I hope first year senators, I know y'all had a great time with her. It's been so great having y'all. I wish you the very best as you continue in your next 3 years here at the University of Georgia. Very best of luck. You are all great, and just know that you can do anything you want and anything you set your hearts to. Just remember that. And I just wish you the very best of luck. And then to the legislative cabinet, thank you so much for your advice, counsel. Sometimes we had some long meetings. Sometimes we had hard meetings. And I think it's okay to have hard meetings and have difficult conversations sometimes. I know, no organization, I think is, remiss if they don't have some few difficult conversations. I think it allows us to improve. And we're always striving to achieve and go beyond what we're doing and to improve as a body and organization. So thank you for legislative cabinet for making me better. Thank you so much to Sierra for making me better and for being always there to be frank and to have that, breadth of candor. It's super important. I really appreciate it so much. Oops, about to spill my water. Thank you so much, Matthew. I really appreciate you and your friendship and your professional relationship as well. I really enjoy having you here as council and everything. It's been a lot for you to have to ride with me. So I appreciate you taking the spot of chief of staff. So I really appreciate that. And then to all the staff here, thank you so much. And I want to say again, unsung heroes. When we went through the list of accomplishments that Senate's done, look to staff. Like so much was done. And I want to thank you all just from the bottom of my heart for all of your hard work so much. Like, thank you so much. This organization and this Senate couldn't be what it is without y'all. And it just goes to show that when we make the Senate more independent and we give it the resources that it needs, we're able to achieve and go above and beyond for the student body. And then like we did a lot and we were able to achieve a lot. And I just once again, thank you for being safe. And one of the things that really warmed my heart and something that was super important to me, one of my passions here at UGA was making sure our student body feels safe. And it's just been great to work on more campus safety, working with Matthew and working with so many other senators. And Sierra and Chris, who came out and worked on the campus safety walk. That's something that's I'm going to carry with me for the rest of my life. Maybe one day bring back some, in the future, get to tour the school again, see what's here and what's not. My dad went here back in the 80s. Whenever he comes back, he's like, oh, that's new. So I look forward to coming back one day and seeing what, what's new and all the safety measures they've done. And thank you so much to the pages. This is something that we implemented this year because I think, and something that's super important to me, and I know so important to Matthew and so many others, is getting more students involved in SGA. I think we all have had our fair share of, what is SGA? What does SGA do? Oh, you're an SGA? What do you do for me? And I think it's more important that we get people plugged in and we get them resources and we get them the knowledge about what we do here. And that's on the next administration, the next Senate. That's on their shoulders. That's now their mantle of responsibility, is to continue forward to try to reach more hearts, the hearts and minds of students. And finally, I wanted to save this to the end, but I want to say a very, 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 very big thank you to our advisors. So big thank you, such a big thank you to Taylor Kane, our SGA advisor. Thank you so much to Sarah Urbanski, our graduate student SGA advisor. Thank you so much for all your help. Also, we also have Dr. Jan. Dr. Jan is integral and key. I love you all. We also have like VP Wilson when we go and meet with, and also Dr. Bill, all key players and very integral to success of Senate and our government. So thank you so much for y'all. You've definitely helped me grow. This whole experience has helped me grow, and I hope it's helped some of y'all grow as well, because I think there's nothing wrong with a little bit of difficulty and coming back from it and improving as a person. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening to my diatribe, but I appreciate it. And thank you for a great year. With that, we're going to move to adjourn. Do I hear a motion to adjourn? There's been a motion to second to adjourn. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? The 33rd Senate is adjourned. Thank you all.